Hi guys, welcome to Unit 8, Lesson 7, Equations of Linear Functions. So as a reminder, a linear function is a function represented with a straight line on a graph. It can also be written as y equals mx plus b, all right? Slope-intercept form. We've been working with that for quite a while, right? So let's go straight into some examples. This first one is number 3 on your practice. They gave us some information, some points right here. It says write the equation of the linear function that models the relationship shown in the table. Your answer should be in the form y equals mx plus b. So with that, these are 2 points. We could write these points as 1158 and 2103. Now notice those are pretty high numbers, right? So it's good to have these skills that we're about to go over. That way you don't have to graph it, okay, in order, to find the line. Because making a graph that goes all the way up to 103, that could be pretty, time consuming. So it's good to know what we're about to do. The first thing that we want to do is we're going to look for slope, okay? And we can do that by finding the change in our y values over our change in x values. So in this case, let's see, I'm going to do, for slope, I'm going to do 103 minus 58. That's the change in the y values. Now I'm choosing to do it in this order just because I want to keep those positive numbers, but we technically could do it the other way if we really wanted. Now that needs to be over the change in our x values. So again, following the same pattern, using the second one first and then subtracting the first one from it, okay, that's going to look like that. Now, let's see here. Let me get my calculator up and cleared. There we go. So 103 minus 58, that gives us 45. And then 20 minus 11, I know is 9, okay? So 45 over 9, that is a slope of 5, right? 45 divided by 9 is 5, okay? And then finding that on the actual graph, you'd go up 5 to the right one, up 5 to the right one, and so on. Now, using slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, we can plug our slope in, because we know what that's equal to now, and then we can choose either one of these points to plug into the equation and solve for our y-intercept, okay? So these numbers are smaller. I'm just going to choose those. Now I need to be careful. I messed this up in my last video where I mixed these up. I need to make sure that I plug my 11 in where the x value should go and the y value where the y value should go, like that. Okay, so let's see here. That tells us 58, and then 5 times 11 is 55. Okay, well, right now I'm adding 55. To get rid of it, I'm going to subtract 55 from both sides. 58 minus 55 is 3, and then 55 minus 55 is 0. Those cancel out, and we're just left with b. So our y-intercept is equal to 3. My final answer needs to include that. So my final answer would be y equals m, that's our 5, x plus 3. That would be my final answer. Okay? This next problem, oh my goodness, we were already given the graph. I'm getting tongue-tied. This is number 4 on your practice. So we were already given the graph, looks like this, and then it says write the equation of the linear function shown on the graph. Enter your answer in y equals mx plus b form. Okay, so really there's a few things we know. One, it crosses the y-axis beautifully right there at the point 2, so 0, 2, all right? So just from looking at the graph in this particular case, I'm able to find my y-intercept. I love that, okay? The only other thing that I need to find is my slope, okay? Now I have 3 points on my graph that I could use to find my slope. It doesn't matter which ones you choose, okay? So these two are closer together, so I'm going to go ahead and use those. I could have used the original ones, okay, and then reduced, but I don't want to do that. So I'm going to use these ones. They're closer together. So remember, slope is equal to, that's your M. It's also equal to rise over run. Well, and there's a couple other things that we need to consider. One, when I read the graph from left to right, it looks like it's going uphill. So I know it's going to be a positive slope. And it goes up 2. So from this point to this point, we went up 2 to the right 2. So my rise was 2 and my run was 2. Okay? That reduces to the number 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1. All right? Now, so for y equals mx plus b, I've got y equals, and then technically there could be a 1 there, and then x, and then my y-intercept, that was right there, is 2. So, but I don't need to write 1 as a coefficient, right? It can disappear because we can understand, well, how many x's are there? Just 1, because there's nothing in front of it. So in this particular case, this would be your final answer. Okay? Okay, last one. This is number 4 on your quick check. And I'm not sure how to pronounce this name. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Olivia is opening a bank account. She learns there is a special promotion where if she deposits $3,000 and then makes no additional deposits on withdrawals, her account will earn $3 in interest per month. Write the equation of a linear function that models the relationship between number of months and total amount of money she will have in her account. Okay, so first off, the initial amount, okay, it said if she puts in $3,000, so deposit, that means she puts in $3,000. So while we're thinking about this, we can say, okay, our initial value, or in our equation, y equals mx plus b, that would be 3,000. Then it says that she will earn $3 in interest per month, okay? Per month. So $3 per month. That's our rate of change, right? That's how much it's changing each month, all right? So in our formula, we would say y equals 3x plus 3,000, okay? Which means that our x value is the number of months going by, right? Because let's say 2 months have gone by. Well, you would take 2 times 3, and then that would give her $6 extra, right? That's what that's saying. So to fill in this, which you'll have to choose the one that looks like this, it is a multiple choice, but here's your formula, and then it says where x is the number of months and y is the total amount of money Olivia will have in her account. Okay, because she's still got that 3,000, but then she's gaining interest on it every month she leaves it in there. Okay, so I hope that helps. And as always, if you need extra support, let me know. Have a wonderful day.